So a lot of people, they ask me, they're like, what does supplement mean? What does that mean? And let's say, okay, I'm going to use some examples, okay? The person who's watching this video and myself, we own a insurance company, right? And we're taught and we teach our people that go out into the field to skimp on certain line items or orders or whatever they can skimp on, where the layperson can't see it. Okay, so let's say you're doing a roofing supplement, right? And Joe Schmo comes out from the insurance company and he writes out the estimate, and he skips line items, right? And yeah, I think in my head, 95% of the time they're doing it on purpose so that they can keep their job. Because if they pay as much as they should, then people go, their bosses go, why are you paying so much? Let's keep the cost down, because that's how it is. Insurance is sort of the evil empire. It is what it is. What do you do? So when you're talking to the adjusters, you go at them like, please help me. You don't go at them like, I am the authority, because that is ridiculous. It's bad for business, it's bad for morale, and you don't want to be an idiot to people, obviously. So that is okay. Now let's use another one. I got screws in my knee. I was playing football when I was 15, 16, and the doctor does an MRI, and it's 1996. So the MRI sucks compared to now, So he tears open my knee and he looks inside and he realized there's some more damage in there, right? So the insurance company is paying for this procedure because my mom and dad have insurance, because I'm a kid. So they see all these problems. They're not going to sew me back up and then call the insurance company. No, that's ridiculous. They're going to fix it, and then they're going to write it out, and they're going to make it make sense that my MCL was messed up too, or some of my cartilage, or I had something else, a bone spur, I don't know, whatever, I don't know lingo like that, but there was more, so they did more, and then they charged the insurance company on the back end, and they said, I need for you to pay for this because when we opened it up, it was more than meets the eye, right? Or let's use another one. I'm driving my Harley down the street, and I'm in the mountains, which are that way, right? Rocky Mountains, and I'm going up, and it skirts out from under me, because it just got done raining, which is far-fetched because it doesn't rain in Denver. That it just doesn't rain. I want it to rain, but it won't rain. When the motorcycle falls, so much stuff gets messed up. The adjuster checks it out, The adjuster comes out, he checks it out, and then the mechanic gets a hold of it. He takes it all apart, and the next thing you know, he's like, well, this is bent, and this is bent, and what about this? Now here's the thing, guys. It's more than meets the eye, right? It's more. So the insurance companies skimped on light items. They might have even seen it, but they're like, what if the mechanic doesn't want to fight for the supplements? What if the doctor doesn't want to fight for the supplements? What if the roof guy is newer, green, weaker, wimpier, whatever, however you want to say it, and he doesn't do supplements? What's he going to do? He's just going to turn it in. He's going to fix all the stuff. He's going to turn it in, and then he's going to take the back end check and be done. But if you do supplements, then you're going to fight for that money. You're going to say, hey, there's extra stuff that needs to be paid for. That, it costs more because this is a 2-story house. It's a 12-12, so it costs more. That there are certain things that no matter what should be paid for, but they don't get paid for. So we make the phone call, or someone makes the phone call, and we make sense out of it, and we're like, we have to tell a story, right? So in the roof game, we do that using Xactimate. So Xactimate has codes, not codes, it's geocoded. So it's done through zip codes all around America, right? That's why it's expensive, So if Raleigh is different than Charlotte, which is different than Atlanta, which is different than Oklahoma City, which is different than Macon, which is way different than Denver, right? The prices are different. They scale, right? So let's say a hurricane comes through and the homeowner gets their roof approved in June, and then they don't do anything, and then in December or January or February, you knock on their door and they're like, hey, I got the paperwork. You give them they give you the paperwork, you go through the whole process. Well, someone like me would say, okay, when did you build this roof? Okay, you built it in March, right? So March compared to June of last year, those are different price guides. So they might have used June of 2018, where I'm going to use March of 2019. Well, Xactimate has changed their prices probably 2 or 3 times since then, right? So the price for the whole build is going to go up, like way up, and you missed that because you didn't do supplements, or there's line items missing. And there's always line items missing. And the only reason why I say that there's line items missing is they'll get fired if they don't. Now, here you go. This is another thing. Let's say you're a new roofer. Let's say you're a new adjuster, right? And you're with ABCDEFG company. And you're like, okay, I'm new. Let's show off what I know, right? So when they do the estimate, they're going to put everything, right? Everything. And then you send that to me, someone that writes estimates, writes supplements, and I send it back and I'm like, you should kiss this dude's forehead or this woman's forehead for being so awesome to you, But you look at that and you say, that was a new guy. He's going to get yelled at. And next time he does an adjuster meeting, he's going to skimp on those line items because he has common sense, because he's making money. Okay. Now there's other companies that are outside contractors, and they get paid for what gets approved. Now, that's kind of crazy, right? So they're racking up points. They're buying everything, So when it comes to guys like that, like certain times, you'll be in South Atlanta, or something like that, and it'll come out to be like $688 a square, and you're like, oh my God, you're not going to do supplements on that. You're not, because that would be kicking somebody in their teeth. Like American History X, he puts the guy down on the curb and then he kicks him. That's the mentality of doing supplements on something that's so far-fetched, that somebody just went off, And then the thing is usually people that use those outside adjusters are smaller companies. They don't care. They're just making money, So they're like, just go out there and just do whatever you need to do, That's supplements, So everybody says, what is supplements? And I'm like, it's the stuff that you eat to make yourself big, No, not really. That's supplements, when you're talking to girls and they're like, what are you doing? I own a supplement company. And they look at me and they're like, you're not in very good shape to own a supplement company. Too much to explain. If you're in the industry, you should know, And if you're in the industry, you should do them. So I'll do one for free. That's it, And then that way I can show you what we do, how it works, and get you started on this supplement plan, And then, a lot of people are like, I talked to a guy yesterday, and he's like, I do supplements myself. Why would I let you do it? And I was like, first things first, I'm probably better, right? And then second is you should be out selling, because it's just you, you know? You don't have a giant crew, you know? So let me do it for you so that you can go out and you can make that money, you know? Which he was like, okay, cool. That definitely makes sense, you know? So, and then Xactimate costs a lot, and it's a yearly deal, you know? So would you rather have Xactimate or would you rather have Hail Recon? If I was a sales guy, I would have both, because I would be knocking on doors all day long, but I'm a computer person, and I would, you know, I would do it for the estimates, you know? But when I owned a roofing company, I used a supplement guy, and he was slow, you know, and he was, you know, it was sometimes, here's the thing, it was crazy. Like, I would wait for 2 weeks sometimes, and then he would be like, there's nothing on this one. So I wasted 2 weeks, you know, and I was like, man, this is bullcrap, you know, this is stupid. And that's why we have that 72 hour where it's free, you know, so 72 hours where it's free, and that way you don't have that bullcrap where your money's being tied up, you know. Supplements. Also, here's another thing. On my website, on Module 1, I think it's the third video down, I talk about what to say to a homeowner when you are explaining supplements, you know? And it's a little bit like this video, but it's more geared towards them, you know? Because it's so important to get that right, you know? If you don't get that right, and if you don't get the initials and stuff, I had a call Sunday. A guy hits me up and he's like, what do I do about this? And he had a lady. The man wanted to pay, the lady didn't, right? He got supplements. He got his supplements bought by the insurance company, and the lady was fighting, you know? And I said, go to Module 8 on my website and watch the video on roof lawyers, you know? And have them, you know, write a letter, a collection letter, you know? Because it's crazy. There's so many people in America, they're like, oh, I thought that was my deductible. Okay, so the supplement money was your deductible. The supplement money came in as $2,300. Your deductible is $1,000. You think that's yours. You're a thief, right? You're crazy. Like, think about what that would look like to a judge. Think about it. Make it make sense. So click the link in the description. I've got a 9-module training course on there. Goes into all sorts of different trainings. But I hope that makes sense. You know, what are supplements? It's a simple thing. And, I mean, you could double your income using it, you know. You could double it. You could definitely double it. Like, that's the thing. These big companies, you know, these monsters, they have hardcore people in their back office, you know. And then you got other huge companies, and then they're using people like me. And then you got little mom and pop companies that aren't doing supplements, and then they go out of business, you know. If I was working for Beacon or I was working for ABC or something like that, I would be like, listen guys, if you're not doing supplements, if you don't have a supplement guy, then you need to just quit right now, because it's ridiculous, you know. There's so much money in it. And then to be able to go the first year, and then the second year, and then the third year, and then really start going, you know, and having your crew and having everything sort of set up, and having all the insurance, and having, you know, not being dependent on ACV checks, but like actually having a nest egg, you know, and getting referrals from year past, and people calling you and being like, man, I need your help, you know. Or Raymond is my neighbor, I need for you to check his roof, you know. Stuff like that happens over years, you know. So if you're not there yet, you should be doing supplements on every single roof, no matter what. If you're big, if you're small, if you're anything. Because why do these big roofers get big, you know? A lot of guys, you know, they'll pay 10% of the front end. So if it's a $12,000 deal, they'll pay $1,200. But then they'll keep all the supplements on the back end. Oh, so much money, you know? So much money. Like, think about how much money they're, oh, so juicy, you know? That's what supplements are. Y'all have a great one.